Awesome. All right, thanks for giving me some time, guys. I know the seats look comfy, but I'll get through it quickly. So what we're doing at Flavorgator, that's the very high level, that's the vision. So what we really want to do is connect consumers, food service operators, and suppliers. Why do we want to do that? You'll see throughout the deck. So the problem that I faced as a consumer, if you've ever had institutional food, not to nag on Compass and Sodexo, but it's not bad, it's simply boring. And the biggest thing that happens, because there's no connection, is no feedback gets through. And if it does get through, it's too small quantities or it's impossible for the operators to process. So what ends up happening is they have no qualitative, so they don't know why the food is boring. They don't know how to innovate in a cost-effective manner, so they default to everyone's favorites. Oh, they want fries again, maybe they want hot dogs. But we just had it like 5 times in a row, so that leads to a vicious cycle, which you'll see applies to the entirety of the food and beverage industry. So, like I said, that manifests for food service operators with food wastage. That's an indicator that something is wrong with your operations. When we talk to them about food wastage, they say, no, it's not a problem at all, because there's not the consciousness yet in this region, but it does indicate a problem with operations that we can solve, which means sales can be increased. With suppliers and brands, the reason why all of this is happening is testing is so expensive and slow that if you talk to someone who's maybe a 1 to 10 person team in the F&B industry, I say market research, they laugh. They're like, oh no, we don't have money for that, we don't have time. For the really big guys, it takes them 3 to 6 months and it costs like $15,000+ and they complain about the results, not only because of the speed, but because of the quality. So how do we fix all that? I know this is super brief, feel free to stop by Thursday, 8229, I can explain it all in detail. This is the Taster Profile campaign. It's a combination of a Facebook-style quiz, so highly engaging, our own algorithms that process the quiz, and coupons tied in with actionable insights. So from the quiz, we not only understand the person to serve them the right coupon, we also give the operator actionable insights, which means they can use that to increase sales and reduce food waste. Sounds great, it's a tech company, how do you make money? What we do here, which we think is extremely fair, is we act as a marketing company, but we don't charge retainer fees. Our goal is to make a campaign that's engaging enough that there's a high amount of redemptions. So when there's a redemption of a coupon, we charge. And feel free to ask more questions on that. So we're not limited. You'll see our team, great team, really happy to have them working with me. It's because we have social impact. We're not just your run-of-the-mill marketing startup. We really aim to reduce food waste, which it takes time, but we have an ecosystem around it, increase food awareness, and inspire the small guys, like I was talking about. So just quickly, the team, oh, sorry about that, man. But there's myself, the CEO. We have very varied backgrounds. I can talk more in detail with anyone who wants to learn. Oh, next, all right. The best slide. So what's really great about having a strong advisory team, not only does it bring our average age up to give us some credibility, but they also do have a lot of actionable insights that they share with us from industry background. So a snapshot of the ecosystem, you guys can check it out. We're really proud to be a part of Grey Adventures, which is a new incubator in Singapore.
Hi, Henry. Got a
Hi.
question for you.
Yeah.
Interesting concept. I'd like to understand a little bit more because since the Facebook latest scandal about gathering data from users through quizzes, so how are you going to tackle this issue, and how are you going to make the engagement with the users really viral so that you can get more information and data from the users?
Cool. I'd love to talk about it. I can do more in the business model. So with quizzes, everyone always says like, Facebook, very scary. You don't want to touch that. There's a certain way that you can use Facebook, which is just viral. So we don't webhook, we don't use any of the APIs, because then you get into very deep water with all the regulations, because you don't need their full Facebook profile. What do you need to understand someone? You don't really need the gender even. So there's a lot of too much collection going on, so we cut that down. We run, Typeform, so similar to Google Forms. We do everything in-house. So we make sure the quiz is entirely separate from the platforms. We make it a viral campaign with one grand prize, and then the coupons is what everyone can redeem. The grand prize, for example, if it's a bar, you can get like 6 ciders and 4 cocktails. So it's a big header. So we promote with that. That gets, you get your influencers to come in, you get your normal people. To win that one, you have to hashtag whatever the campaign name is. So that helps with the virality. Did I get the question?
Yeah, so what are the usual questions that you're
please.
asking?
Yeah.
Are you simply asking people, do you like hot dog or muffin?
No, so I'll go quickly so that people can ask. What we ask would be, we have a few starter questions, which would be very similar to that, to get them into the ecosystem of that restaurant. So if it was a hot dog or if it was a bakery, we'd ask that first. Then we ask 1 to 2 targeted questions towards the end, serve the coupon, and then the brand can continue to re-engage those consumers with more targeted insights.
Maybe a little bit of a follow-on to that question, Henry. So you're basically running surveys and offering campaigns or promotions to my customers if I'm one of your customers. Who creates those campaigns and how long does it take? Is that something that your team supports the customer in doing? If I'm a food service operator, do I need to have a marketing person to spend a few hours, every week designing that? Tell me how it works operationally.
Of course, operationally, we've worked with everything from a holding company with about 400 outlets all the way down to a single founder bar. And in both cases, it didn't take more than an hour of like 2 30-minute sessions to get the brainstorm done. We then create the campaign, bounce it to them for feedback, and that cycle just keeps going on throughout. We're, of course, automating it, but right now we only have about 5 clients. So once we reach probably the 50 to 60 range, we'll be able to automate it. Cool. All right. Thank you. Yeah, feel free to stop by 8229 on Thursday to ask more.
Great job. Well done. Welcome. Well done.